SMT Nation, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be taking a look at an article here from Monica Alvin, Fierce Wireless. Link for the article in the description. Seems really intriguing. I haven't even read it yet. All right, so what I'm going to do is kind of a live reaction to her take on what she believes, or the industry believes, is going to be the top things that they talk about for Q2 2022 earnings. The earnings reports and the earnings calls, I think we've got a couple of them scheduled for July, and usually T-Mobile goes third. So I know AT&T, I think, is the 22nd of July. I'm not sure about Verizon. I'll check the date later. And then we'll probably get T-Mobile in August, first or second week. They have kind of been moving things up a bit. We'll see the exact dates, but I just want to look at the article and see maybe if I agree or I disagree with some of the takes of what's going to be most important during these earnings calls and such. All right, so I see here it says put this on the watch list for these financial analysts: recession and inflation. Okay, so these two things are paramount to investors. The market analysts and those that are within the industry, and of course the executives, the big wigs, the bean counters, the financial officers, the CEOs. It's all about the economy. The customer spends money. Well, how dedicated are they to certain services and goods? And we know that wireless and mobile networks, access, people paying for their bills, are non negotiables. Everybody's going to have a smartphone and a line of access, or two or three, however many people in their family. Do they move from postpaid to prepaid? Do they try to bump down their plans to go from plans like the Magenta MAX and the AT&T Elite and the Verizon Get More? Do they start moving down, with all these financial pressures within families and households? This is kind of where I think things are going to be playing out. Is, are we going to feel that in Q2? Because I don't think we saw much of it in Q1, but we could see it in Q2, and then throughout the rest of the year, they will start to kind of project that, and they will kind of start their guidance in that direction. So we'll see. Inflation and price hikes. This has been paramount to the consumer. All right, now inflation. I don't know what the exact percentage inflation is currently. I can tell you guys right now, tickets for people's grocery lists are increasing. Fuel and energy is up. A lot of people are paying upwards over $5 a gallon for fuel. Some people in certain states probably closer to 6 or 7 gallons. These types of things really bite into the spending and the pockets of consumers. So there's going to probably be a huge focus on inflationary environments within the economics of the country. AT&T has raised prices on legacy plans. Verizon has as well. They've added fees, they've increased fees, economic adjustment fees. AT&T has continued to warn consumers of a potential price hike or increase in the future. AT&T, when they said it the first time, we knew they were going to do it. They did it. They're warning of it again. They're probably going to do it. They turn to that as a strategy anytime things get tough. They got to pay people more money in these retail stores. Cost of operations increase at the slightest. They increase pricing. We know what T-Mobile did, increasing fees for upgrading. We know what Verizon did with the economic adjustment fee and legacy plans seeing small bumps and increases. That's just the thing, right? All right, so there's that going on. Here it says cable gets more competitive. All right, so what they're talking about in cable is they're talking about cable companies. And by this, we're talking about Comcast and Charter with their respective MVNOs. They continue to grow at an accelerated pace at the tune of over 500,000 net adds per quarter. That's nothing to sneeze at. Those are Verizon customers. Those are AT&T potential customers. Those are T-Mobile's potential customers. So it hurts them. And there's a reason why T-Mobile doesn't want to do business with Comcast and Charter on an MNO agreement. They don't do business with competitors. All right. They've said that in the past. All right. So believe you me, I'm sure they would love to explore finding better rates for data usage, not just sticking with Verizon. They could do it with T-Mobile, but T-Mobile, it's not going to happen. All right, so they continue to gain. Here, this next item, unsustainable growth rate. All right, now who is this in reference to? Who is this about? I think this is about the industry. All right, we've seen the numbers, the growth rate for telco spike. Are we going to start to see kind of the bottoming out of the growth? AT&T has been growing, T-Mobile's been growing, Verizon is not. and MNO has been growing. Excuse me, MVNO has been growing. All right, prepaid. All right, how are we going to see that? So we'll see how that plays out. Here is one of the big things I think is going to be a big piece of the earnings, and that is wireless answering back with fixed wireless access. That's cellular home internet. So this on the heels of what I just kind of spoke to here with cable being more competitive. Here's wireless's answer to kind of striking back, swinging back. T-Mobile big here, Verizon big here. T-Mobile bigger because they don't have a restriction of top 46 PAs with C-band and 77 for like in Verizon's case. T-Mobile has their full spectrum portfolio across the nation. All right, but how much of a difference is the T-Mobile and Verizon home internet going to make to cable? All right, now here's an expectation from Cowen. It says expect fixed wireless ads of 345,000 from T-Mobile, 225,000 from Verizon. My predictions, which I made probably about 6 or 7 weeks ago, I thought T-Mobile was a shoo-in for 3 or 400,000. On a good quarter, I think T-Mobile is capable of 500,000 net ads. And I think in a good year, they could add 2 million customers in fixed wireless access, which I think they'll probably do 2023, 24, and 25. I really do. I think they can definitely hit their stride. Verizon, which added, I believe, about 180,000 fixed wireless access customers last quarter. I think 225 is realistic. I predicted that they would go at least 200,000. And this all just depends on scale. And that's what it is for these two companies. How do they scale the service? So, T-Mobile wants to be at 7 to 8 million eventually. I think they hit that. I think they end up with about 10 million. Verizon looking at 4 to 5 million subscribers. I think they end up with a little bit more, maybe 6 or 7 million subs by 2025. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a big piece. In fact, I think this is one of the reasons the only positive that's probably coming out of Verizon is going to be fixed wireless additions. And then for T-Mobile, it's their growth sector, and it's a profitable sector of the business. So investors will be thrilled to hear the good news from Verizon fixed wireless access as well as T-Mobile. Now, looking at item number 5, it says Dish as number 4 carrier. I don't know. This is an absolute wild card. What are we going to hear from them? Are we going to hear more markets? Are we going to hear about BYOD, bring your own device to Dish? Are we going to hear about more phones? Are we going to hear about retail footprint? There are so many unanswered questions about Dish. I have to withhold my evaluation of them as a company. I don't know what their go-to market strategy is. I don't know who's investing in them. I don't know where they're getting their money from. While I remain optimistic and supportive of the company as the fourth national carrier, there's not much to go off of. So I remain optimistic. But what are they going to tell us? How many subs they lost at Boost Mobile? How they remain uncompetitive compared to, say, some of their counterparts like Cricket um, and Metro by T-Mobile. All right. So in my estimation, this is going to be number one, inflation and price hikes. It's going to be a huge piece of the earnings. I think you're going to hear Verizon and AT&T talk a lot about it, specifically AT&T. T-Mobile is going to deflect a lot of it because they can't raise pricing. They're going to talk about how they price locked and da-da-da, and that'll be good for the marketing side and the visual, how things look from the optics standpoint. Cable, I think that's going to be a big piece as well. That's an interesting thing for me. We'll see where the growth rate thing comes from, and fixed wireless I think will be huge too. But I think it's positive momentum for fixed wireless. So, what do you guys think? Comment down below what you feel are going to be big pieces of this earnings season, how things are going to play out for the carriers, and how those earnings are going to play out. And honestly, I'm going to probably do a dedicated predictions video, which you guys will probably get it real soon. I might even just do it on a live stream. I'll think about it. I got to make some notes and put it all together, and you guys can be on the lookout for that video or that live stream. So comment down below. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more, and turn on that bell notifications icon to never miss an upload. Check out some of these other videos here in these end cards if you want to hang around and didn't get enough of the SMT. And then in the description box, you'll see my Patreon page link. Get early access and exclusive videos not found anywhere else. Also, my Twitter handle and all business inquiries can go to the Gmail address in the description box. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.